Professor David Carroll campaigned for Barack Obama for his president bid but did not do the identical for Hillary Clinton. Now he asks oneself if as-called black ads, separately aim on the internet messages, were to accuse. I am worried I got ads or stories in adulterated data on Clinton. How may include confused me of volunteering for her campaigning. I volunteered for Obama, so why did I not do it once again? He is one of the 240 millionth Americans that contentious policy campaign company Cambridge Analytica claims to include constructed a comprehensive section on. Such a profiles are told to involve which car a man owns, their public health concerns and which print they absorb. How data while combination in physiographics, micro-targeting identity types in exchanging messages, how acting on their fears or concerns, could be a strong instrument in persuading human beings that way to voice. The company, that was involved by CEO Trump cards poll campaigning, is now mired in debate above how it purchased and utilized the Facebook information of 50 millionth Americans. At the beginning of the year, Professor Carroll queried how Cambridge Analytica ensured detailed information on the private data it had gathered on him, which he acquired was both of anxious and scheming. It turned on rankings on 10 issues, giving him a 3 out of 10 on gun rights, and 7 out of 10 on domestic safety significance, near the proposal how he was hardly to voice Republic. But it was as well disconcerting. The information was not clear. Was the 3 out of 10 a nice or bad item? Did gun rights indicate more than or less than gun monitoring? And it as well seemed quite short. Same head execution of Cambridge Analytica had boasted how the company had 4,000 to 5,000 information points on largest U.S. voters, but which they gave me was a half a dozen at largest, he told. He felt how the business was retention data, that gave him perspectives to install a legislative problem in London's top trial. Cambridge Analytica has before April 5 to answer. So distant, it has not made so but does complain to include remote all information collected of Facebook as quickly as it was done aware by the public web how with the data disrupted its policies. It has as well told how no of the data was utilized in its job for the Trump card campaigning. Professor Carroll's legislative activity was registered recent 1 week, several hours up. Facebook announced how it had prohibited Cambridge Analytica of its plate. He does not get letter of credit for the tempest how has with ensued, but he does expect how the legislative problem will ensure the at first full file of testimony show the degree and environment of the profiles Cambridge Analytica claims to include done on the most of us voters. The inquiry in Cambridge Analytica and Facebook may include deep effects not just on how information is gathered in next but as well on the really cloth of democratic state. Policy strategists are more with public print as a plate for affecting voters and lathe to information scientists to crackle data to discover pioneering ways to goal human beings. The prudent side according to reports consumable pound on digital advertisement for the 2015 general poll, on to the election committee. Labour consumable £160,000 and the permissive Democrats £22,245. Practically all of the cash went in advertisement on Facebook. The Trump card campaigning is believed to include consumable tens of millions of dollars on digital advertisement adapted to individuals. How psychographics profiles of person voters relying on their lifestyles and preferences could be extremely strong, thinks Chris Sumner, study CEO at the On the Internet confidentiality basis. Same force of emotion advertisement is so known and drives a lot of decisions, but law now down there is less than regulatory on the internet policy campaigns rather than on a sale campaigning for toothpaste. His team copied the methods of psychographics profile above 2 year, first of all considering differences in identity traits, thought styles and cognition biases among voters in the UK's 2016 EU plebiscite and later invent their own campaigning to testing if it might be probable to identification, goal and impact voters. It aims specific messages at particular personalities, for copy, with the tongue of terror to goal neurasthenic personalities and a more than vigorous communication of such identified as reasoned by wrath. We found how human beings behaved as we forecasted they would. If you get the messages law, they can be really strong, really. Exchanging messages planned and is very efficient, and can push human beings one way or the some. Said Alexander Thavez, a policy historiographer of Oxford College, is not confident how the UK's policy parties are now with such a subtle methods. He created a instrument duplicated who targets me how permitted users to path on the internet policy advertisement shipped to them for the 2017 general poll. With the instrument became accessible, Facebook has changed its rules, coercion policy campaigners to explanation their accession, and Mr. Thavez thinks future changes are connected to pursue. Down there will be far more than rules and more regulatory, how is the form how things will get. But the information gathered of the draft offered how the on the internet campaigning was far of bright. He explainable how ads designed to goal human beings in particular geographic areas were shipped to human beings residing in a fully various portion of the nation. Same things how Cambridge Analytica claims to be capable to do, we refuge T seen how slippery and transactions in the UK. At low not still he told.